The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Our mic's on. Hey, can you hear us now? All right.
Look at this high-tech podcasting equipment.
Yay,
Yeah.
there we go. I know we look so extreme. Okay, cool. So yes, hello, welcome. This is Coach May and Coach DJ. Good to have you guys here. We're on the Juicing Animals membership coaching call today. So our intention today is answer your questions, get anything you got going on that relates to juicing and your transformation process taken care of today, okay? So setting you guys up for success, right? Let's see what
Thanks
is
for
going
giving us
on.
the heads up, Lindsay.
Yeah, appreciate it, Lindsay.
Hey, Megan.
Hey, all right.
Glad to have you.
So cool.
Megan's a regular.
She is. And she's got some really cool stuff going on. I'd love to bring her on really quick and
Mercury.
Oh no, it's in retrograde.
Retrograde. Oh no!
It started yesterday. I'd love to hear about that too. But Megan's actually doing a really, really cool project right now, so I'd love to get her on later. Is that okay, Megan, if I bring you on later in the call? Just get a little update? Hopefully, yes. We'll find out. All right, Chris has a great question. Let's just jump into it today.
All right. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, this is actually a really cool one, and I'd love to hear what DJ does as well. Chris asks, what do you personally do when you are traveling and you can't take a juice with you? This is great. There's tons of really, really good options, I think, for clients. Mm-hmm. It's something that we work on a lot with our private clients and our group clients, right? What's your favorite strategy?
I got two strategies, yeah. The first one is the hard option, which is to find a juice bar.
Yeah.
And go actually they're popping up everywhere nowadays, so
it's not even that
hard to find a juice bar.
I saw clients, I'm like, hey, your transformation is getting easier and easier as the world updates.
Yeah. And then the second option is to use a greens powder. There's a lot of was that yours? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's obviously not as good as fresh green vegetables, fresh straight out of the fridge or your farmer's market, but it will do. In a pinch, and you can get them in travel sizes, and some of them they require refrigeration, so that might be a little bit hard. But there are some that are sealed completely, and if they're individual packets that are sealed, then they're okay. They're a lot better for traveling because they don't oxidize and stuff like that.
And they have those in little baggies now.
Yeah,
little to go.
Exactly. Some of my favorite brands are Athletic Greens, Sun Warriors, Ormus Greens. I don't really like the taste of Sun Warrior Ormus Greens, but It'll do. It's good for you. And then also Sun Foods, The Sun is Shining. That one really tastes like kind of the sea. So my favorite is Athletic Greens. And it's non-GMO, it's completely organic, and it's solid for you. Yeah.
My favorite is Barleans.
Oh, Barleans.
The Barleans is so good. It's so good. And it is refrigerated. And I think they do have some to-go packs, but what is it, Green Gardens or something? Garden Life or Life Garden or something. That one also has some to-go packs that are really, really handy. It's just kind of finding the variety you like and kind of, enjoy and can consume appropriately.
Yes.
And maybe adding some lemon or I'll always dress it up a little bit with some lemon or something like that. So.
Oh, totally, because lemons are easy to bring, and you can juice them with your hands, right?
Just squeeze those suckers.
Squeeze them into your bottle, or your shaker.
I know.
Bottle.
Look at us right now.
Yeah,
so lots of options. I think definitely looking at even if you can't juice or bring a juice, what about freezing a juice and bringing it and letting it defrost in a bottle?
Oh yeah.
Do something ninja like that because that'll last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
That's always a good option. But I think in general, planning in advance is the biggest thing. So looking at where you're going, controlling the things you have control of. So say you're going for a work event, see if you can stay in a different hotel that happens to be close to a juice bar, or happens to be closer to a Whole Foods or a natural market, or something that you'll be able to find some good options at, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of
thanks for that question, Chris. That's really awesome.
A really good question. Yeah. And that comes up a lot. I'd love to see what you guys normally do when you travel.
Yeah.
So,
or how long are you traveling, Chris?
Yeah, I want to know this kind of stuff. Yeah, you traveling for like a day, or is it like a month, or because that obviously changes a ton. We obviously pack most of the food we need, and then for juicing, it's like planning in advance. Where can we get a fresh juice? How much can we bring with us? That kind of stuff. If you're actually going to be staying somewhere, bring your juicer. Are you driving? Bring
Bring
your juicer.
Yeah, bring your juicer.
Yeah.
J-Cord doesn't exist anymore, but they had a baby juicer.
Yeah, a little tiny to-go one. It wasn't the highest quality, but it worked, right?
Yeah.
So what? Go ahead and type in here. What do you guys normally do? Do you do greens powder? Do you just not juiced? Or what kind of stuff do you guys normally do when you are traveling? I'd love to hear some tips in there. And then during our call, like we did last week, I'm going to probably ask you guys 1 or 2 questions that I want you to jump inside the Facebook wall and interact on. Okay, so I'm going to have you guys answer a question in the Facebook wall, and it will be, of course, inside the membership Facebook wall. So I'll probably be like something like, what's your intention for this coming week? Some cool stuff like that. So I'm just gearing you guys up, preparing you.
Yeah.
What kind of protocols are you guys working on right now? I know I'm about to bring Megan on in a second here, because you guys are just pretty quiet right now. But I want to know what you guys are working on. Are you
Oh, there it is.
Hey, there we go. Chris has another question. He's all over the place. Chris said he was just asking in general. He normally takes a cooler full of fresh foods if driving, and then a juice bar when flying. Yeah, pretty much a pro. Well done.
Oh, totally.
That's right on point, Chris. Good work. That's kind of what we recommend as well. So that's
perfect. We carry our food with us every day. So
yeah, we have little baggies. We actually carpool too, so it's kind of embarrassing. We look like we're going on like thank goodness. I didn't carpool today with him, and I didn't drive well. I sped the whole time, and I drove horribly. It was only because him and Spencer weren't in the car to keep me safe.
When I'm there, I grabbed the shit handle. I was like, oh!
And I drive the speed limit sometimes. Anyways, so we always bring our food with us, and we always, prepare in advance. So decide, how you want your day to go, and then control what you can. And luckily, since we are such capable people, we can control exactly what we put in our bodies whenever we want. So try to keep control of what you can, and don't worry about the rest. What are you guys working on? What are you on this call for? You're just hanging out here.
Maybe there's a glitch in the system because
we don't see anything. You guys are on there, but what kind of stuff are you guys working on? Are you doing a juice fast? I know Megan is. In fact, Megan, I'm gonna try to bring you on right now. Are you ready for this? I'd love to hear from you. So, Megan Ralph.
Oh, they got a question mark. Maybe they have a question.
Yes, sometimes we may have a question. We'll find out. Let's do Megan.
Liliana Popkin. I love that name.
Right. That's a really good one. I'm going to unmute you, Megan. Can you hear us? Does your mic work? Megan. Megan Ralph. Yeah, it should be. Let us know if you set up your mic. I can't hear you, though, lady.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
My mic is up and running.
Update on Megan. She is doing... I know, it's unusual.
I'm sure she would have typed something in. I don't know if the text is coming through.
Which is really weird, right?
Oh, Chris can hear her.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see.
Is
our audio good?
Did you Apple TV it? Because we hear it out in the other.
Oh, no.
Is that why?
We hear it in the other room.
Why is it Apple TV?
Is this the group coaching?
Mirroring's off. Yes.
This is this is the membership.
The big guns are here.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, earlier I could not disconnect from the Apple TV either.
So I wonder what we do. So you guys can hear it on
Play something on the Apple TV to disconnect.
Go like this.
Yeah.
We don't want it though. This is off.
Nobody can hear you.
Megan, you're off.
You're on the main office. You're telling everyone else, Megan.
Oh, but you can hear me laughing in the other room.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's hysterical. You're like out in the main office where actually that they're filming.
You're gonna be in the next Saturday strategy, Megan.
I hope you don't mind.
Here, No, play something on the Apple TV to disconnect us.
Yeah, like hook up one of your laptops. These are the kind of technical issues we have in the office. Let's see what we can figure out.
Mercury is in retrograde,
Right now, you're just
people.
talking to the
It's
outside
gonna do
office,
it.
not us. I'm not sure why that happens.
Yeah,
Did it go?
Megan, can you hear us now?
that's okay. I can hear you.
You're talking.
you
we can't
hear me?
you now.
Okay.
No, it's horrible. We can't hear you.
Should I do a monologue or
Hold on. We're figuring this out.
Change the line into the audio.
bring back my
Oh,
college
yeah,
acting here?
Like this.
No, they can hear us.
They can hear you, but we
It's the
can't
line
hear you.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah.
Sign in, audio.
Internal.
How about output?
There we go. Internal speakers.
Wonder if that's better.
There we go.
Meg.
Megan, can you hear us?
Test.
See, she's
Yes.
talking.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
You can see her.
Hello.
Hit that.
This is the weirdest thing ever.
I know this never happened.
Hit that button. Yeah.
This one?
Did DJ just say hit that?
Can we
Input.
just do- Okay, hello. Megan.
Hello.
Hello.
Airplane. There it is.
Okay.
Built-in output.
Okay.
All right. Now, Megan.
Live from the other room.
Alright.
This is Megan who's on here. Megan,
Hi.
we can hear you
Oh.
now.
You got me?
Shockingly. Yeah.
That was-
I'm not just in the other room.
You're not. You're in our room now. She's starting a
Word. All right.
program. Megan, will you give us a quick scoop on what you're doing? I think Drew would actually love this.
I've already seen it. Megan, I've seen the video. It's awesome.
Ah.
It's cool.
I haven't seen it. I
Give everybody a scoop,
Sure.
though.
Give
Tell them,
the
give them the
scoop.
scoop.
Okay, cool. I based upon the theory that when you're ready for something, being ready doesn't really get you anywhere. You have to put stuff behind it. You have to get past being ready into the going and moving forward part. And so I've been stuck for a while kind of in between being ready and go a little bit, but not really going as far as I would like to. So the Pass and Go project is all about me figuring out how to lose 30 pounds before my birthday, which is 30 days from yesterday, actually. Or, I'm sorry, 3 months from yesterday.
I was like, wait a minute.
So that's my goal. I'm kind of trying to figure out a way to be done, trying to complete my transformation and just be to where I would, instead of always focusing on, I really want to, lose weight this year or do this or do that. So that's my big thing. It's also a charity project, but that's, I'm sure, going to manifest later. But right now it's something to help keep me accountable as I move forward and try to figure out how to do this. And it's kind of a way to share, what I'm doing and, different tips and stuff that I've learned from you guys, and kind of, that's it.
I love it. I think the premise behind it's really cool because we have, I think, our audience here at FitLife is I think pretty well aligned with what you're up to. They're really trying to transform their body, and I think that the most difficult piece is the exact one that you addressed in your video, and that's your first video blog, and that is, taking that next step from just being ready, that realization, to actually taking action.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really difficult thing to do. I think most people think, okay, I'm ready, and then they just anticipate seeing things happen, and of course they don't. So it's, what are those action steps that have to happen once you decide that you're ready? And that's the really complicated, normally paralyzing part, right? Is where everyone digs into information.
Right. Well, and people have to understand. Right. Trial and error is a part of it. You have to try something and figure out if that works for you or if that doesn't. I mean, I tried to do juice when I first got into juicing, and I was like, sweet, I'm gonna go 30 days. I'm gonna rock this, and my body was like, oh God, please stop.
Yeah.
And by day 10, I was like, if I don't have steak, somebody's gonna die. it was bad, you know, and I think that's what it really comes to is you have to try things. My biggest thing in January was I was gonna go like super strict. I was gonna like, you know, maybe like Whole30 all the way, you know, see what I could do. The problem is I get into a pattern where I get into too much restriction and then I get into too much excess after that. So, you know, you get super strict on yourself, but then you're like, you know what, I will give myself some wiggle room. I will, you know, I will go to this party, I will allow myself, but then you're like, maybe I'll give myself a little more room. Maybe myself to have peanut before you know it, you're in the house with a spoonful of peanut butter. So I think that, I think, yeah, you know what I mean? You're like, I don't need to make dinner. I have a spoon and a jar of peanut butter. I'll do that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you've never done that, DJ.
Definitely have.
I've done
Yeah.
the ice cream before.
Yes, yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head with that kind of stuff. It's really, really important to realize that, you know, you have to try something on, and that's why, you know, we tell clients not to just juice, right? So we tell them to get a foundation,
Right.
start eating,
Right.
living healthier. It's so much more involved than just, you know, scrapping everything you're currently doing and just changing your lifestyle. Because that's not going to work. It's not going to stick for one, and then it's probably going to cause some detrimental after effects, right? Once you stop. So,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm glad I've come to the place that I've come to with it, and I realize that, you know, moderation is one thing, but I am at a stage in my life where I have to set boundaries and parameters on like when I will prep cook and all that, because if I don't have it, the chances are I will be probably burned out in the middle of the week. Right. And if I have to think about I've got to get home and I've got to cook, then the chances of me going I've got to get home and I've got to work out lessen. And that's, you know, like I want to make sure I can hit all of that. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
That's huge, and that's something actually we'll get into right now. Jamel's kind of the king of preparation, so I'm gonna pass
buddy.
the mic to him. And I really appreciate you sharing. Thank you, Megan. I'm really excited to see this.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me on, guys.
Support you through this, okay?
Yeah.
You.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Megan. Awesome.
All right, so Megan brought up a great point. You know, with this transformation process for each and every one of us, one of the biggest things that I think people forget about is doing yourself the favor of basically setting yourself up for success. So eliminating the possibility of your slip ups. Because remember, we're all human. We're gonna reach for that almond butter if we're starving, if we don't have any other food, right? So what's and Jamel luckily is here, DJ's here, and he is a king of planning. So I'd love to kind of pick his brain a little bit. What's his favorite techniques for preparing in advance and setting himself up? He has a lot of food prep. Does that for a lot of his high-end clients too, and you know, what are your favorite strategies for making sure that you are prepared?
Definitely. Well, for my clients, I build out the nutrition plan for them. So I mean, yeah. But even with the nutrition plan, you know, it still comes down to execution, and I want to bring up this before we get into like the actual doing, is the action, the being, you know. So a lot of people come up to me and ask, you know, I want to, you know, get in shape. I want to start getting better results and this and that. And then I say, you know, what are your biggest goals and challenges? And they say, well, you know, making it to the gym and, you know, eating healthy. That's the hard part. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay. So you know exactly what you need to do. All right. You're not asking me what you need to do. You're asking me, how can you get yourself to do what you need to do?
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So
it's two different things.
Yeah, it's completely different, because everybody knows, you know, you want a six pack, you know, do this, but the hard part is actually doing it. So how do you do it? Like May said, you take the willpower out of it. So instead of making that decision every single night,
or every meal,
yeah. So how many meals do you eat a day? 4 or 5, maybe 6 times a day. I eat like 10 times a day.
Yeah, I eat like 6.
Yeah, times that by 7. So, you know, it's between 30 and 70 decisions a week times 4.
That are not easy decisions.
They're not easy decisions.
It's like 1,000 options, right? What do I eat when?
Right, exactly. What do you eat when?
How many carbs, how much fat?
Yeah, you know, balancing this and that. So, preparation ahead of time, like you said, is key. And then within that, you want to have I prepare for maybe 4 or 5 days so that you're not completely restricted and you're not holding yourself back. So on the weekends, maybe you're a little bit more social, so you want to keep those meals unprepared and just make sure you stay within the certain variables. So like say, you want to eat lean meats, vegetables, and fats. That's simple. You can go to any restaurant. You can find that anywhere you go.
No matter what. Right?
No matter what, yeah. And now your decision making is only saved for the weekend. You know what I mean? So like Saturday and Sunday, you have that willpower, saved up. And you know on Saturday and Sunday, like, okay, I'm gonna have a little bit more freedom here. So maybe I will, have something on the side. But during the rest of the week, 80% of the time, you're following your plan. And you're not having to make that decision and fight yourself every single day.
Right. And that comes back to even doing things like, all right, planning the whole week. I'm going to, juice 2 of my meals every day, and then the rest of the meals are going to look like this. So, Sunday you're going to go shopping and get those things to make sure that happens. And then before even the week starts, you're also going to cook that food, right? So cook as much as you can to prepare that food, or prep your vegetables for all the juices, put them in a bag, maybe even label them, get all OCD on yourself, get all crazy. That's fine. Because again, that's one less decision that you have to make every single day, every single morning, all week long. And all you guys are busy. You're all, working on tons of stuff. Aside from yourself and your transformation, it's really, really important to look at it like, if you can do yourself that one favor, just prepare yourself, right? Do yourself a favor every single day by making your meals ahead of time or deciding in advance how much you're going to juice, right? And then, Jamal, you're totally right on. If the weekend's the one time where you kind of get to relax and then you have to make those decisions, well, so be it. But because you had such a great, setup during the week, guess what? You're going to see great results. Yeah. And it won't make that big of a difference.
You'll make the right decision.
Yeah. And remember, the most motivating thing that you can normally enjoy are going to be results. So when you start seeing those results, believe me, those decisions become easier and easier and easier. If you're like, you know what, I think I want to continue looking better and better and better. Well, heck, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, that's another thing, that the momentum builds on top of itself. So say you're not the kind of person that can prepare, an entire 4 days of food,
Totally okay.
Maybe you prepare breakfast, or you say, I'm going to make my lunch for the next 4 days, and then that's only like 4 meals that you have to prepare. And then the next week you say, maybe I'll make breakfast and lunch.
Right.
And then the next week you make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then pretty soon you're, it's just systematic, and you've built that habit, and you've changed who you are as opposed to just what you do. So that's who you are now. You're like this person that eats healthy and prepares food.
And that's huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's like
huge.
The foundation of Fit Life transformation is changing who you are, right?
Exactly. And that's how the results will last.
Right. And I think it's important to note too, there's so many different ways to do this. Even just Jamal and I do things very differently. He prepares meals, like multiple meals way in advance, and I simply plan for what I'm going to eat way in advance. So I know exactly what I'm going to eat even next Wednesday. I can tell you what that meal is going to look like, right? Because basically I have a foundation for what I continue to eat and what I like to eat the whole time. So I know already what it's going to look like. I do have my flex 1 or 2 days that I get to have some fun with depending on where my results are.
Yep.
So both of our programs are completely, pre-decided, pre-planned, and then results driven. So we're going to cater our planning based on what kind of results we're going to see. So because I love cooking and I normally have some time in the evening to unwind, and that's what I like to do, I prepare all my food for the next day every single night. So if you're worried about, hey, my food's not fresh enough, or I don't like juicing ahead of time, you can always juice the night before, or at least prep those bags the night before.
Yeah. So
that's a really good way to kind of start smaller maybe with this idea. So if you don't want to juice for, multiple days, or prep for juicing for multiple days, that's okay. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, right?
Exactly. And the way I meal prep for juicing, I stack my fridge. So instead of having a whole bunch of vegetables, I'll have a layer where it's all my cucumbers, and then the next shelf will be all the kale.
He's totally OCD.
And then I have a drawer for lemons and ginger, so that it's just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, throw it in, and you're good. Yeah. So
easy.
Yeah, super easy.
And then for that takes out the decision making of what kind of recipe
right,
am I
what
gonna
recipe,
do?
Yeah.
Is this gonna taste good?
It's
How much
all
should I
about
make?
removing decision making out of it.
Right. And you hit the nail on the head in the beginning when you said you take out the decision making. It's already done. That effort, or sorry, the willpower.
Willpower.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Just repeating.
You don't need any
said.
willpower. Yeah.
Here's what you said earlier, which I really liked. No, the willpower aspect of it gets taken out of there. So it's amazing because no matter what, willpower is I believe strongly with working with clients and what I've seen personally, it's a finite thing. So you only have so much willpower. And if you are making critical decisions at each meal, at each opportunity to eat, every couple of hours, every single day, that's going to drain you. And say you have a stressful job, or you've got a busy family life, or you've got a crazy schedule, or whatever the heck's going on. All that drains your ability to make those good decisions. Maybe you don't sleep very well. Maybe you're stressed for any reason. All those things negatively contribute to your ability to make those good decisions every single time that you have to.
Everything. Yeah, it's actually a science, and it's called ego depletion. And you have a certain number of decision-making units each day. Like, it's actually a science. And if you use those units, like, should I brush my teeth this morning? Then that's a unit. You know what I mean?
And hopefully you're not using that.
Yeah. But your brain has created habits so that you brush your teeth and you don't use up those units, because it's just like, okay, so it's in the primal, subset of your mind where
it's
you
like
just wake up and you brush your teeth. Yeah.
It's a freebie, right?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
deciding if you're going to go to the bathroom when you wake up. That should
be
pretty automatic,
And that's why all the bad decisions happen at night, because by the end of the day, your decision-making units are depleted, and it's 12 or 1 in the morning and you're out, you're probably not going to make the right decisions.
Right? You think of a bag of Doritos you have hidden in your cabinet all of a sudden for no good reason.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I really like that. Lindsay asks, so anyways, thank you for sharing your meticulous decision making and stuff.
The key to consistency.
The key to consistency and success. Lindsay asks here, I like to add coconut, milk, or water to my juice or smoothies. Which is the best to add, meaning most nutrient dense or beneficial? Coconut oil, water, or milk? This is a great question, and I believe that there's a detailed answer that begins with, it depends. The worst. I'm so sorry.
Worst.
But
let's talk about your situation.
Yeah, for sure. Totally depends on your goals. So if you're trying to lose body weight, I would definitely focus on the basically the most efficient form of nutrient density that you could get. So the least calorie containing option that gives you the most benefit for that. Of those three, I would say coconut oil is probably the best, because you can just take a spoonful of it. You get the primary benefit of all that as far as like a healthy fat, and then some an easily accessible, bioavailable calorie energy unit, right? MCT, yeah. Get the benefit there. Coconut water, you're going to have a lot more carbohydrates from. Yeah. And it's very hydrating, which is good. It's going to help some of that nutrient upload into your body. So basically an electrolyte transport, keep you really hydrated basically very easily. Where coconut milk is more like a great alternative to dairy. So say you want that milky consistency and you don't know what else to put in there, you can try coconut milk or almond milk or something like that. But as far as the health benefits, you're primarily going to get those from oil and then the water. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, adding coconut oil to your smoothie is sometimes a little bit rough, just because of the consistency. So I can see why you'd prefer the water or milk. But I would avoid the water. Coconut water is good for like a post-workout or something like that, but it's out of all three options that has the most sugar. So if your goal is to lose weight, then avoiding sugar would be optimal, even though there's like a lot of electrolytes and stuff in there, but you can get those benefits from coconut oil. And if you're gonna put coconut oil, I would use most refined is MCT, where they just extract the most bioavailable chains, and it's liquid. So the benefit is it's liquid, and you can put it into your smoothie or your juice. Whereas with coconut oil, it's kind of like a clumpy thing. And I used to do that. I used to throw in my smoothie and stuff, and then there'd be like chunky flakes all over the top.
It wouldn't be blending well.
And yeah, I would chug it in, and there'd be coconut flakes on my mouth and stuff like that. It would be really weird.
So that was a good moment for you.
Yeah. And then, now, I mean, if you like to add it. I just cook with coconut oil, and I don't add anything to my smoothies or juice except for water, because for me, one, it's an additional expense, and 2, it's additional calories, which aren't really necessary. So, and then all the coconut milk and stuff has like some sort of preservatives and stuff.
Carrageenan or
Yeah,
something.
carrageenan and all that stuff, and I'm just like,
You
if
don't
you don't
need
need it, why put it in there?
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. And that's a good recommendation with MCT oil. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So MCT might be even a better upgrade for sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked too. You guys need to ask more questions. I don't even know where we're on here. Jamel and I are just having a conversation basically.
This is what we talk about anyway.
I know.
I mean, like, hey, May, what's your meal plan today?
So
How
what
many,
kind of
right,
Tupperware are you using
What's your-
today?
Check out this new bottle I have. It's mason jar.
That's amazing. It's really important that when you guys have questions throughout the week, instead of asking them on the Facebook wall, and if you're not getting the answers you want, just save them for these calls because this is why we're here. If you guys are new, are you having trouble getting started? If you're like lost midway through, what's going on? Where are you? What's going on? Your transformation is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, there's tons of questions we get all week long in the Facebook wall. And I love that because you guys are so supportive and amazing. But I'd love to get them in here instead.
Chris, let me ask, were you able to start the Week Body Regard program? I'm not sure. I know you got access to it a few weeks ago.
Oh, let's see if he's still on here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Chris, can we bring you on here? We're going to unmute you.
We're going to put him on the spot.
Yeah.
This is accountability time.
Chris, are you there? You're unmuted. Hello? Is he here? Chris? It's always so difficult.
Yeah, it's not showing audio anyway. So.
You'll probably have it. Okay, that's good. Would anyone else like to come on and kind of just share a little bit about
John Swan.
Hey!
Swan.
Should we get him on there?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you can raise his
We're
hand,
just going to
but
start calling everyone out. Poor guy.
Let's just find the cool names.
Oh, Chris is hooking up his mic too. John,
Okay.
are you there? Mr. John?
I am here.
John, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Sorry just to attack you like this. Tell us what you're up to. What are you doing right now? As far as your health.
Mass program from bodybuilding.com. It's a Jay Cutler program.
Nice.
All
right.
Just hitting the gym a whole lot. Haven't really had a whole lot of time to juice, or actually, I just haven't juiced in a while. So I think I'm going to throw the Alpha Reset out there in a couple of weeks just to sort of see how my body responds to it, because my system just isn't reacting the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah.
What's your goal?
Mass.
Matt, yeah, are you trying to put on mass or lose fat?
Oh no.
Oh, did we lose him?
John might have gone away. John, are you still there? We don't hear you anymore. John.
It's okay.
Okay. So I think that was a great question. Is your goal to put on more mass, and then, or is it focusing on maybe some fat loss with mass as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or trying to, look leaner with, maybe pronounce those muscles that you do have more, right?
Yeah.
Jamel, you've had a lot of experience with juicing and trying to get big, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What's like a big tip for John to incorporate juicing into his mass gains protocol?
Yeah.
What would you recommend?
Well, we were just talking about actually the MCT oil in your juices are awesome. Now the thing, a lot of guys don't think about juicing as beneficial to mass gain, but in reality it helps so much because of your body composition, the chemicals inside, the hormones. So what happens when you're trying to gain mass, you're eating a whole ton of protein, right? And when you're eating a lot of protein, your body becomes acidic through digesting protein and everything like that. And if you're not getting enough vegetables to balance out your alkalinity, your body's going to be catabolic. So it's not a good state to be in. And if you're trying to put on mass, it's going to be really hard if your body's continuously fighting itself.
This is really cool science, by the way. I love this. This is like my favorite thing.
Yeah, we're nerds here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the easiest way, I mean, a lot of bodybuilders like eat tons of broccoli and stuff like that to balance it out. But it's just, if you're trying to gain mass, you understand that putting that much volume of food in your body is difficult. And the fastest way to get enough vegetables in your body without having to eat a whole bunch is juicing.
And the most effective way to alkalize your body.
Exactly. And it's like, double whammy right there. So it's really, really beneficial to a muscle building process to have a lot of vegetables and nutrients in your body. Also, the Alpha Reset is beneficial because sometimes you're not absorbing the nutrients that you're eating, so you give your body a chance to heal and recover, so that when you do start to like pound down all that protein, your body's actually using it. Yes, exactly.
You're not like wasting that too.
Exactly.
It's the same principle behind why we do the Alpha Reset in the first place.
Yeah.
The cool thing is you can apply it directly to your muscle gains, and if you're not seeing the gains you want or the fat loss you want, something isn't working, right? And that's probably an acidic body or a toxin-laden body, right?
Yep.
And John, since you've been in this membership, I know that you've done the Alpha Reset before and you've juiced before, so it's most likely that maybe you are building up some, the pH in your body is changing because of the program you're doing and probably your goals. So, Jamal brought up an awesome point. That's
when you get out of a workout, your body is under a lot of stress, so your cortisol levels, jump up and stuff. If you have, a juice right after, the vitamin C and everything will push the cortisol down, so you'll not only store less fat, but you'll prevent the breakdown of muscle tissue as well.
Yeah, and you can do like green smoothies and stuff is a great option, right?
Green
where you
smoothie,
can blend a lot of those the vegetables in there, or even make a juice and then blend it up with some protein powder if you need to or something. But I always watch Jamal doing that, but I think obviously works very, very well, I would say.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Hopefully that gives you some insight, John. Let's see. He says, so should I do like 2 16-ounce cups a day, like juicing and weight loss protocol?
Yeah, that could work. Except add in some MCT oil.
There we go.
Yeah, add in 1 tablespoon of MCT oil for the actual extra calories.
Yeah, so you don't end up getting too catabolic there.
Yeah.
Like losing weight or something.
Yeah, what are your numbers?
Yeah, give us some more details.
Some customization.
Yeah, let's get into this. Let's do some programming.
Oh, man.
Yeah! These are the rewards.
We're on the chopping block. Yeah. We're going to sculpt you, John.
Yeah, let's get sculpted. What are your numbers? Okay, I have 50 pounds.
That's Lori Hacker.
Oh. Hey, Lori, we can talk to you too. John, while you're giving us your numbers, here we go.
290, 38% body fat. Okay.
Perfect. So your primary focus really should be fat loss until you get down to below 15% or so, and then you want to focus on those like building muscle. Basically, there's an ideal window, and Jamal will probably talk more about this if he wants to. But there's an ideal window for actually putting on lean mass, and in order for you to actually successfully put on lean mass, you have to be lean enough to start with. So it's really important that you focus on losing body weight first, or body fat specifically first. So getting leaner through juicing and through eating well. So you're doing the right thing, John. But then in order to see the gains that you probably want without plateauing or without seeing super slow results, you really want to focus on burning fat. Once you're at a point where you are lean enough to, your body can then go ahead and start putting on lean muscle. When you work out, that kind of work will be actually successful. So, down towards 15% would really get you in a good spot to start putting on some lean muscle. And then the cool thing is that in the meantime, you can just focus on fat loss, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's only one direction.
Yeah, it's so much easier. So much easier. So the hardest thing is if you're trying to, put on some lean mass. But it's easier, which is good news. Okay, good news for you. So it's easier to focus on one thing or the other. So just building or just burning, right? If you're focusing on both, a lot of people are, the results are a lot slower. Yeah. And it's not that it's not possible, it's just harder, that's all.
Yeah. You have to use a lot of advanced things, carb cycling, but we won't go into that.
Yeah.
290, 38%. Yeah.
Focus on fat loss. Get down there, get those numbers down.
I would target maybe, like 10 to 15% is where your body will start to only put on lean mass. But, so for you, I would just, cut down to like 20%.
Get to 20 and then start building. And know that building will actually help you burn body fat too. That's the cool news. But it won't be as effective if you're not just focusing on one or the other. So it's easier to focus on one or the other.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you're starting at a point where you can make a lot of progress really fast.
Yeah.
So I would,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, he's asking, do I?
Oh.
Yeah. I was going to say, you can stay on the lifting program that you're doing.
Yes.
The mass building lifting program is perfectly fine. Whether you gain or lose weight is all about your nutrition.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing.
Mainly about your nutrition.
Yeah, so the cardio, just stay active. That's what I'd focus on. But lifting is going to really help you burn the body fat, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, cardio will help you lose weight, but not necessarily body fat. So really what you want to focus on is burning body fat, right? So keep lifting, and you can even do, maybe you're lifting longer, so you're burning more calories, more body fat as you're lifting. So instead of like short, basically changing up. Spencer's flexing at us over there. Flexing his huge muscles. So instead of just focusing on like just mass gaining, low repetition, that kind of stuff, you can actually have a little bit more flexibility with that lifting schedule, but keep lifting, okay? So don't stop that.
Totally. Double up on sets.
Yeah, just go at it, get crazy.
Yeah.
Chris says, this is totally where I am still losing body fat. Tell us more about that. We want to hear about that. What do you mean by that, Chris? Oh, that is totally where I am. He's still losing body fat. That makes sense, yeah. So that's kind of
290, 38%. Chris also. Okay.
So you and John should encourage each other.
Yeah.
Be like, hey
there
man,
you go. Hold each other accountable.
How's your body fat going? Down.
You guys should compete.
All
right, whoever gets the lowest gets a juicer.
Hey.
A brand new juicer.
A brand new.
You guys already have. Yeah. What else can you give them away? I know. Some Sun Foods, Greens Powder for traveling.
There we go. Yeah, we'll give you some gear. Seriously.
Yeah.
So some swag. Definitely, and it's really tough, I think, to really take a step back and evaluate where you are, right? Because John, you're like, I want to have some muscle, but you have to realize in order to get that muscle, you're gonna want to burn body fat first.
And you trust me, we got plenty of muscle.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But that's the coolness. You're moving your body around every day. You got some good muscle underneath there.
If you run the numbers, 38%, you're like about 200 pounds of muscle right there.
It's a lot.
So you just gotta get. This
guy's jealous right now.
I know.
He's like,
I'm trying to bump my way up there.
Yeah.
190 now, so yeah.
He's working on it.
Almost.
Yeah. Well, what's been your success? You went from.
Yeah. Well, 2012 I was 150. So
you're 190 right now?
My normal weight is 160. Yeah, I was at 150. Then I had to bulk back up, and now I'm at 190, so I'm at 40 pounds.
That's
plus.
some ridiculous success.
But see, I was small and kind of flabby.
Right.
So it still wasn't very the ideal.
He wasn't happy, right?
Yeah, and we're all at different places, and it's just a continuous journey. You know what I mean? So don't feel bad about where you are, and as long as you're on the path to where you're going,
right? That's
you get
huge.
there, and you're good. Yeah. So.
It's really good. All right, Lori says, I have lost 50 pounds by changing my diet to decrease the pain from rheumatoid arthritis and inflammation. Really good work. Amazing work already, Lori. I'm totally impressed. I have started juicing. I'm wondering, do I juice every day and eat small meals to accompany eating? Juicing is a new avenue. Have read many books, not sure how much juice to drink each day. So, Lori, I asked you, what's your primary goal? I see you've already lost a lot of weight, which is awesome. You've done an amazing job. Do you want to lose more weight? Are you trying to improve your health? Just focus on decreasing your inflammation? What more results do you want to see? And then we're gonna go ahead and help you out here for sure. I think a really good technique though is just like what you're proposing is juicing and eating small meals throughout the day, right? You can do that. You can also look at more like a juice cycling. So maybe over the weekend you do a juice fast, and then during the week you eat normal food. So you have that kind of balance in your life, right? You're able to get the benefit from juicing without maybe the hassle of having to do it every day. It's almost like more concentrated bouts of success from juicing, right? So there we go. Let's see if you answered that. So go ahead and let us know kind of what your goal is moving forward, if you want to lose more weight or if you want to maintain your health, right?
Yeah, and if you just want to start, just start by 1 juice a day, 2 juices a day. Just incorporate that into your nutrition.
Yeah.
That's
the way to go. All right.
Foot injury.
Chris says 215 BMI is still too high. Fighting a foot injury, that's tough for sure. And working the exercises, the exercise bike, and repping arms and doing some pikes and stuff. Good. Yeah, and with the foot injury, you can work like big back and stuff. I definitely focus on your bigger back or bigger upper body muscles. So arms would be like the last thing I'd do, Chris.
Yeah.
Focus on like
curls for the girls, Chris.
Drop those curls, man. It's a waste
Jacqueline's
of time.
already impressed. Man.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Focus on your back and your chest specifically, and then secondary to that would be shoulders and abdominals for sure. But you have a ton of work to do with the back and chest for large muscle groups, challenging, break a sweat for sure.
Oh yeah. Rows, pull-ups.
Yeah, and you've got, maybe some, if it's a foot injury, you can always do machine leg work. Like, if it's comfortable, leg press, probably not though. You can do leg curl, leg extension, that kind of thing. Definitely focus on that kind of stuff. Glute work, some butt work, where your butt's like a huge muscle actually.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fat burning potential with that butt. So lots of other muscles that you can definitely work with for sure. And then instead of focusing on your BMI, I would definitely try to get your percent body fat done, because the BMI can be really off. It's not the best measure for sure, but maybe at your gym you can get like skin caliper, percent body fat done for sure. Okay. Yeah. John says he's loving the journey, and he started what? Holy crap! John.
Dang.
Okay, so John says, I'm loving the journey.
I remember John for something incredible. Yeah,
Yes.
John Swan again.
I started at 427 in 12/10, 2010. That is amazing, John. Amazing work. You're making obviously huge strides in the right direction, and you're doing the right thing. It's tough to get that kind of consistent dedication, but you're in the right community to do that, and you're doing the right thing.
That's
really impressed.
awesome, man. 427 is 290.
Whew, a lot of work. All right.
Yeah.
Here's that little feedback. Bent over rows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Back.
good stuff. Big back.
Big back.
You got so much good work to do back there.
Too.
Yeah. Ugh. All right. Lori says, yes, I want to lose more weight and continue to get healthy. Perfect. I have a total knee replacement surgery last April and struggle to walk. That's very challenging for sure. So when we look at kind of areas to push the body, into changing, you normally have two primary areas and one kind of secondary, and that's going to be your nutrition, of course, you can manipulate, your fitness you can manipulate, and then normally it's your lifestyle, right? So the causes of stress. Anything that we can change in a positive way, so decreasing stress, changing your lifestyle to be more relaxing and conducive to letting your body release that weight, you can do that kind of stuff too. That's kind of a secondary one though. The ones that we generally approach are, of course, going to be nutrition and fitness. And so if you're limited with your fitness, and obviously seeing more weight loss will help with that. With the knee replacement, there's less weight bearing on that knee, and it should help as you lose weight to become more comfortable with your rehabilitation process and stuff, and any inflammation for sure. So as you lose weight, something to focus on, of course, is going to be your nutrition primarily if your fitness is compromised in that way or limited. So juicing is a really, really good way to do that. And like Jamal said, focusing on maybe one juice a day with adding in some small meals. I would strategically plan some juice fasting in there. So an alpha reset here or there, once a month or something, doing an alpha reset until you get the results that you want, especially if it's, more specific and health related. So if you're really trying to decrease your rheumatoid arthritis and inflammation, that's a really good reason to get pretty aggressive with your juicing and do this to a point where you really see the results you want, and then you can scale back. So consider that, start with a juice a day, and then maybe every month do an alpha reset.
Yeah, exactly.
A short juice fast. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. If you're not very active physically right now, alpha reset is perfect because you're not expending a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good way to heal.
So you just really focus on that nutrition, kind of the room to explore the nutrition challenges rather than physical challenges, right?
Exactly.
So sometimes when we kind of max out the nutritional challenges, say we have people that are juice fasting a lot, normally we'll pull those clients back and say, okay, now let's focus on fitness instead. So instead of just, eating less and less and less and juice fasting more and more and more and more, right? You kind of max out your ability to do that. So then you want to explore the other avenues, which are going to be, of course, fitness and lifestyle, right? So look at those three areas and determine, obviously, with fitness being kind of out of the question, let's look at nutrition and lifestyle, right? So what are some of the things that you can change that will give you the results you want? Cool. So before we jump off here, hey, Megan says, is it safe to alpha reset every month? Yeah. So if you think about juice cycling, kind of how we set that up, It's to prevent any long-term metabolic damage, so you don't want to downregulate your metabolism, right? So end up eating nothing and losing no weight. That's a downregulating metabolism. So to avoid that, we say you want to eat at least one full day of solid food every week, and that's like a real day of solid food. So you're not just juice fasting. But with juice cycling, we say, have one C day in there, so one solid food day. And normally we recommend doing a couple B days, which are half food days, half juicing days. So you can imagine if you're doing that every week, Megan, that's definitely going to be more than an alpha reset every month, actually. So say you're juice fasting 3 days a week, that's an alpha reset every week. But as long as you're eating regular food with that alpha reset, then you're going to make sure you don't downregulate your system. It's not highly recommended because it is a lot of juice fasting and not a whole lot of calories. And if you look at your weekly caloric intake, it's pretty darn low, right? If you're juice fasting a lot. So once a month alpha reset is a pretty safe bet. And it is aggressive, but it is safe, yeah.
Yeah. Once a month is good.
Yeah, and of course, if you are starting this and haven't spoken to your doctor, we always recommend you talk to your practitioner and your primary caregiver and make sure that you have been cleared to juice. So make sure you have
disclaimer.
Yeah, big old disclaimer on here for sure. So that's an important one. Stephanie asks, I work out a lot and have been juicing for a while, but I am trying to get back into being more consistent. Should I cut back on intense workouts while doing the beta breakthrough, or just doing the recommended workouts to continue with more intense workouts? What I totally recommend, Stephanie, is if you want to get back into it, the beta breakthrough obviously is a pretty challenging protocol, and kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah.
What I would say is put your high intensity workouts as a substitute for the beta breakthrough workouts. So on days 4, 5, and 6, I believe, or 5, 6, and 7, the 3 solid food days, 5, 6, and 7, instead of the beta breakthrough workouts, do your own high intensity ones. You don't have to necessarily change everything. If you're already reincorporating juice, that may be a lot. Back into your diet, that may be a lot. So you can keep those workouts in, but just don't do them when you're juice fasting, okay? So it's going to be way too much on your body. It's a lot. And kind of see how you feel. Those workouts are supposed to be short and sweet because your body's going through a ton of detoxing during that program. So try that on, but if you have difficulty, for sure be on the next call and let us know, because it may be something where we want to look at splitting up your week a little more effectively, and maybe not doing a beta breakthrough to kind of get you back into juicing, but doing more like, a simpler alpha reset style with some, apples and carrots and beets, so sugar containing things to help kind of cater for your high activity level, right? So very, real cool. Before we finish today, can y'all post the aggressive plan you mentioned? Maybe which one? I've been talking about aggressive plans all day.
Yeah, that's
it. Aggressive kind of day.
Beta breakthrough, right?
Maybe the beta breakthrough, yeah.
Or was it juice cycling? If you're a member, you have access to all of them, right? Or
yeah, they will. So I'll post in there where you should have access to it. But basically, if we walk you through it right now, you just go to your membership and it's in there. So you do have your protocols. The beta breakthrough is the aggressive one that we're talking about with Stephanie right now, John. And then the juice cycling one, that's just more of like the aggressive or most effective weight loss protocol, is in your juice cycling protocol inside your membership too. And I'll post both the links in here to jump into your membership, okay? So you'll see the link for that. But yes, we certainly can. Before we go, I would love to have you guys, the last one with the alpha reset. Yeah, I think that's the juice cycling.
Yeah, juice cycling.
I'll give you that one for sure, John. And luckily all that's in your membership. It's just always hidden, so I'll post it. Before we go, in the post that we talk about the membership call right here, I want you guys to just go ahead and, just like last call, write one commitment that you're going to, that you want to commit to this week. Whether it's, are you going to, start juice cycling, John? Are you going to begin juicing once a day? Who was it that we were talking about? Lori. So Lori, I saw you on here. Are you going to start juicing once a day now? Megan, what's coming up for you this week? Chris, what do you want to commit to? Lindsay, Mandy. Chris.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's it.
Back rows.
Chris
Bent over
commits
rows.
to
Yeah.
planking more and curling less. Thank you. Yeah, do some rows, okay? Commit to some rows or backward.
Pull-ups.
Yeah.
Pull-ups.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to commit to this week? And you know why we do this and why I love to do it on these calls, because you guys can all hold each other accountable. Okay, so whatever you're working on, you know, Chris and John, you guys are working on similar things. You know, maybe it's just getting back into juicing and you need that accountability. Well, here's a really good space to drop that in there. Like, I'm going to begin juicing this week and I'm going to start out with, you know, 2 juices a day. Here I go, right? Or I'm going to try on planning my nutrition this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
plan lunch for the whole week.
Yeah. Boom. There we go. Yeah. Look at this.
All
okay,
right.
Cool. So jump in
Starting
here.
Monday, John. No.
How about today,
Nice.
John? Like, what happened today? You have a whole weekend.
Are you gonna go out and binge this weekend or something?
in preparation.
Is that-
Just giving you a hard time, John. So be sure to jump in
All
there
right,
and encourage
definitely.
each other, hold each other accountable. Good work, Stephanie. That was perfect.
Perfect.
So 5 full days of juicing. You better not be doing high intensity workouts as you're doing that, okay?
That'd be confusing too.
You better not be, John. All right. Thank you guys so much. Mel, do you have anything to add before we get out of here?
I'm really proud of everybody that joined us today. I mean, you guys taking steps in the right direction. It's impressive that you've made so much progress so far. 50 pounds here, 100 pounds there. Like, I mean, yeah, this is an incredible group of people, and you guys are all part of the community, supporting each other. So you know, help each other reach your goals, just like John and Chris. Partner up, make things happen. Glad to be here and help.
Yay. Thank you guys. Really good work. And we'll see you guys next week, okay? Be sure you register every single week for these calls. So it's a new link every time. I know it's a pain. But at least they're all recorded and they are being posted. I promise next week's call should be up today. Or sorry, last week's call should be posted today. So you'll see that pop up. You can watch the replay if you missed it. You'll see our smiling faces once again. And we'll see you guys next week, okay? And it's a Valentine's Day.
It
We'll
is
see you guys on Valentine's Day. I can't
Oh,
wait.
I won't be here next week though. On Friday.
Jamal won't.
I'm playing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. All right,
But,
bye, you guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.